Hello again. This is the introduction video for the first lab session that we will have in this laboratory. In this hand session, we are going to have a hands-on basic experience of programming in Java, and in this video we are going to introduce what are the key elements of this programming language. Before we start, you should have installed in your platform, in your system, the Java programming language, which if you haven't yet, you can do so by following the instruction in this screen. So you can pause the video here, follow the instruction, install Java, and then go back to this video to move on. So let's move on. Java is a programming language which is defined by four main characteristics. The first one is that it's an object-oriented programming language. That means that everything except the primitive Java types are objects in the system. So what you do when you program in Java is you create classes, then these classes are instantiated into objects that later on you can manipulate in your program. The second characteristic of Java is that it is platform independent. That means that Java programs can run in all the different operating systems because they actually run on top of a Java virtual machine. That is because each program in Java is compiled into an intermediate code which is the same for all the different Java virtual machines. Then Java is also a strongly typed kind of programming language, which means that the types for the variable must be predefined and conversion is relatively strict. The fourth and main characteristic of Java is also that the memory management is automatic. That means that you don't have to manually allocate or deallocate the memory space for the objects that you create inside your program. When you write a program in Java, what you usually do is you write classes into Java source files. For example, the Java source myclass.java. These classes are then compiled using the Java compiler, the Java-C compiler, into a intermediate kind of Java bytecode, which is represented by the myclass.class, which is later on executed by the Java command inside the Java virtual machine. So let's take a look to the typical Hello World example of Java. Here you can see the three most common parts of a Java program. You have classes that have names. Inside of these classes you will find methods that are executed and that are formed by statements. If you want, you can try out this basic example by pausing the video here and copying this code above and then into a file named test.java, and then compiling using the Java-C compiler and then running the program with the Java command line. A more complete example of the Hello World example would be this one here. Here, besides having the classes and the methods, you also have that the class can be part of a package. A package is a way of grouping similar classes in Java. Inside of the class, you also find some attributes or fields that represent the characteristics of the class. So for example, the hello class in this case has an attribute called the hello message, which is of the type string, where we store the string hello world, which is the message that we want to print in the screen. Finally, in our main method, we have the statement where we use the hello message as an object to print this message through the println method, which is part of the printstream class, which is the type of the out field of the class system that we are calling in this statement. So this is the typical Hello World program. Again, here you can pause the video and copy this code and then compiling and executing. Take a look here that in this case the Java compiler takes a flag, the -d flag. This is because we are using a package, and when you use Java maps these packages to directories. So the flag -d tells the Java compiler to create the folder for the package world automatically in the current directory. Now that we have seen the basic Hello World example and that you have tried yourself, we can move on to understand how we create Java programs and how we are going to go for designing services in this laboratory. Most Java programs are actually a collection of classes and relationships among them. This is how we will design our services in this laboratory. We will start by defining a model to represent the resources that we want to expose through our services. Consider, for example, the model of the person health profile. Here we have two classes. We have a person class that defines what are the characteristics that we want to store or we want to manage of a person. For example, the first name, the last name, the birthday. These are all attributes or fields in the class person. A person can also have a health profile, which is another class, which is defined, for example, to store health measurements like height or weight or other measurements that we can see. Inside the health profile, we can also have some methods that operate on these fields, like for example, the calculate BMI. Based on this model, this basic model of a person and its health profile, we can then think of services to support the reading and update of this health profile. The health profile reader class would be the Java class that implement these services. And using all these three classes, then we have our first service design that we can implement. So now that we have our first service design in the form of a Java program, before the lab session, before the hands-on session, make sure you inspect the classes for the lab by going to the GitHub repository of the lab that you will find in this URL that you see here in the screen. There, you should try to look on the person.java class, the health profile Java class, and the health profile reader Java class. As you will see, the syntax of these classes is very similar to the Hello World example that we have explained in this introductory video. And in the comments you will find explanations about what are the meaning of each element we use in these classes. And that's it for today, and thanks for watching.